My name is Allie LaBourgeois, and this is my audience. For many years, the addiction to nicotine has been the cause of death for many Americans. According to Jan Freeman, author of the scholarly article E-Cigarettes, about 42 million American adults smoke tobacco, and the heaviest of the users will die prematurely. Growing up, we've all been taught that smoking is unhealthy for you. We've seen the images of the black lungs, and we've heard about the addiction that it can create. Although we know it's unhealthy, society still tries to enforce these ideas on us and even make attempts to make it healthy. In 2007, electronic cigarettes were introduced by the tobacco companies into the United States and ever since have grown rapidly. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, currently does not regulate e-cigarettes. Therefore, the organization does not control the manufacturing or marketing of the product. As a result, electronic cigarettes are currently allowed indoors and in smoke-free areas. However, there seems to be a general agreement that FDA regulations are needed for e-cigarettes. These devices should be banned indoors and in smoke-free areas because the vapor from e-cigarettes possibly contains harmful ingredients and they have negative short-term and long-term side effects on the public. However, proponents of e-cigarettes say that these devices offer smokers a healthier alternative. Although e-cigarettes are perceived by cigarette smokers as a safe alternative to tobacco smoking, these devices have not been evaluated for their safety. Secondhand smoke from traditional cigarettes is said to be just as harmful to non-smokers who are nearby as to the smoker who's directly inhaling. When manufacturers of e-cigarettes first introduced this product on the market, they claimed that the e-cigarettes were a healthier choice not only for nicotine addicts, but also for those affected by secondary smoke. However, the CMAJ Scholarly Journal explains that it is unknown whether the inhalation of the mixture of chemicals found in the vapor of e-cigarettes is safe. In fact, it is suggested that the electron cigarettes contain trace amounts of impurities and carcinogens, which are produced during the heating of the solution. The chemical, when heated at high temperature, produces formaldehyde, a type of carcinogen and cancer-producing chemical. The decision to smoke is the choice of an individual. Therefore, those who make the decision to avoid the addiction should have the right of being protected from the secondary smoke of conventional cigarettes and from e-cigarettes. Using e-cigarettes causes many potential short-term and long-term health effects for the direct user and those receiving the secondary smoke. According to e-cigarettes, a rising trend among youth. When an individual directly uses an e-cigarette, a short-term side effect includes headaches, coughing, and sometimes nausea. However, these effects are also presented to those who receive secondary smoke. The same is almost directly represented in commercial cigarettes. The public that's inhaling the secondary smoke endures similar short-term effects just like the consumer who is inhaling it directly. Secondary smoke from conventional cigarettes causes very dangerous long-term effects on people. Those who inhale the exhaled smoke of the user inhales the same chemicals and are placed at the same risk for eventually getting terminal lung diseases. However, e-cigarettes produce the same risk to the public. E-cigarettes deliver more fine particles than conventional cigarettes. These can cause lung inflammations, and it is easier to come in contact with lung diseases. E-cigarettes are just as dangerous to the public as commercial cigarettes. Therefore, regardless of electronic or traditional, the same short-term and long-term health effects will be evident to the user and those who inhale secondary smoke. Proponents of e-cigarettes feel that these instruments do not cause harm to the public and should not be regulated by the FDA. An experiment was conducted and published in the Inhalation Toxicology Journal comparing the effects of e-cigarettes vapor to cigarette smoke on indoor air quality. The experiment setup included 3 flavors of e-cigarette solution and the use of traditional cigarettes. The chemicals released in the vapor, along with the smoke, were tested for total cumulative hazard indices, HIs, and excessive lifetime cancer risks, ELCRS. Analysis of the pollutant concentrations showed that e-cigarette vapor was found to pose significantly lower risk than cigarette smoke under the same testing conditions. Also, cancer risks for e-cigarettes vapor samples were very low. The experiment suggests that there is no apparent risk to human health from e-cigarette vapor due to the results for emissions to be very low. However, they're still present. Many who are for the use of e-cigarettes argues that the vapor is not harmful to those who consume it because of the low numbers, but the chemicals are still present and they do pose a risk. Due to the potential harmful ingredients of e-cigarettes, short-term and long-term effects to the public that is exposed in the vapor, the devices should be banned from smoke-free areas and indoors. It's important for the FDA to regulate the usage of these devices before the small amounts of chemicals being released transforms into large amounts and places the public at higher risk of danger. Traditional smoking has been the cause of death for many Americans, including the direct user and those inhaling secondary smoke. E-cigarette users do not place the public into concern when they use the device. Therefore, eventually e-cigarettes will have the same exact devastating effects on the community as traditional cigarettes do. Thank you.